All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Discovering Lake County. We appreciate everybody listening in. Today I am in Mundelein at what do we call it? The original Sundance Saloon? Is that what we call it?
Just the Sundance Saloon,
That's Sundance.
but it is the original.
It is good. And I'm with Bobby Carlson. How are you, everybody?
Doing well, thank you.
Good. Okay, so fun fact: Bobby and I went to high school together before you got kicked out of Carmel.
If I put it that way, it was a mutual separation.
It was a mutual separation.
We could talk about what really happened.
You didn't actually get kicked out.
I didn't.
No. See, you left on your own will.
My dad pulled me out.
Did he?
He did.
All right.
For protecting the honor of a female
Nice.
student.
Well, you know what? It's funny that there were some strict rules back then. We couldn't get away with stuff back then, but hats off to your dad for taking you off. And then you went to Lake Zurich?
Lake Zurich High School.
Nice.
Yes, senior year.
All right. So we have some history anyway.
Yes.
So
grade school.
Oh, yes.
You forget grade school.
Yeah, he used to kick my ass around everywhere. Yes, as I was St. Gilbert and you were
St. Francis.
St. Francis. Yes. So there's our history.
Amen.
Okay, so from going to high school with you and then turning around, because I used to hang out here at Sundance like long before you owned it, and then things changed. So I want to know, how does Bobby Carlson get in the bar business, and at that time the country bar business, because you don't strike me as a country bumpkin kind of guy.
Yeah, so I mean, the term country bumpkin is probably doesn't apply to me, but I've always enjoyed country music. Much like a lot of the public was introduced to it when Garth
90s
got his popularity. Wow, maybe even the mid to late 80s. So I've always enjoyed it. But ironically, the way I got involved in this place, it was named the Loaded Buffalo back in 2015.
Okay.
My younger brother had been involved over here operating the food side of the business for the current owners of the nightclub.
Okay.
It was called Mavericks at the time. And Mavericks, ironically enough, the woman who started Mavericks is the same woman who started Sundance Saloon in the early 80s. She came back and restarted it after Sundance moved out to Waukegan, and for whatever reason didn't make it, whatever the reasons may be. So it was sold out there to who I don't know. It's now currently Lakehurst Event Center. Sundance out there doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
But in 2017, we brought the name back to this location. I kind of skipped over a piece though. So in 2015, my younger brother was involved here in the food side of the business, and somehow, some way, some things took place, and he got an opportunity to buy the business. You know, there's some details there, but I don't think they're important. But he called me up once he got the opportunity and asked me if I was interested. So we came in and evaluated it numerous evenings. And yeah, he and I bought it together in 2015.
That's awesome.
We did.
Did you have I don't know what you were doing for a living then. Did you have back bar restaurant experience?
I did. I had my own place, a little shotgun bar down in Southern Illinois.
Okay.
You know, through college and all different odd jobs. I mean, I've waited tables, I've bartended, I've bounced, I've worked every position in a bar or nightclub. Just never really owned one except for that little place in Southern Illinois. This was probably 2003-04 time frame. I had a little place down there before we moved back here to what I call civilization. So
right.
I lived down in Southern Illinois for 6 years.
What town?
The town was Metropolis, Illinois, right outside of Metropolis, Illinois. It's kind of unincorporated. And you know, while I was there, I wasn't the biggest fan of the environment, but years later, looking back, I loved it. I loved the open country, no neighbors 5 feet away from you. There was a lot of good to it as well, and it wouldn't be a big deal for me to go, hopefully someday, go buy another 100 acres and build a house right out in the middle of nowhere by myself.
Things can move a little bit slower there too.
For sure. And at the time when I was younger, I didn't care for that.
No.
But now that I'm getting older, I very much think that would be my speed. So, yeah.
Okay, so when you and your brother buy it, was the plan to be country, or did you have like an idea of other things that you wanted to do?
So I think at the time they were attempting to do some live music. Don't think they did it very well. So as I got involved, I had a very shallow learning curve, and just had to kind of figure out what worked and what didn't. And we were kind of blessed with a built-in country crowd
Yeah.
that had been built by other owners. And you know, there are thousands of people that knew the name Sundance Saloon. So yeah, we were never going to abandon country, not 100%. We never let go of Country Wednesdays, which is still the biggest country night in Chicagoland, bar none. I mean, do other places have a large crowd in a one-off situation? Yes. But on a regular basis for 40 plus years, nobody
Wednesdays
does
are awesome,
nobody
yeah.
does what we do. And Country Fridays are back as well. So as a result of Country Wednesdays just going bonkers. So you know, to answer your question, no, we never really abandoned live music. I just kind of turned it up a notch.
That's for sure.
And you know, we can get into how I did that if you'd like.
Yeah, no, I'd love to, because the tagline is, the tagline still the saloon that rocks.
That's correct.
I love it.
That is kind of letting folks know that, yeah, we are still rooted in country. We understand where we came from. We've never let go of that, but we are so much more. We do multiple things now. It could be a tribute night to Billy Joel. It could be a Motown night. It could be a Metallica night. It could be anything. So there isn't many genres we don't touch on. There are a couple that aren't necessarily, they're a little bit more niche. But yeah, rather than just strictly country, we do a whole lot more, and we kind of built the room and stage and production for it.
It's awesome. Awesome. You made a lot of changes. Before we talk about like how you got in the words, was one of your main things that you wanted to do live music? Like, when did it change for you to say, okay, we need to get some kick-ass bands in here? Did you change the stage, lighting, all that? Did you put all that in?
Yes.
Okay.
So year over year, we've always added to what we call the production. The way a band sounds matters.
Amen.
The way it looks on stage matters most of the time. And the idea when we built this stage was that we built it for national acts, meaning the Jackals, the Great Whites, the Powerman 5000s, the Bret Michaels, who, all have been here. And then I just quickly learned that dealing with this level of talent, while it's fun and pretty cool and somewhat nostalgic, because a lot of these bands are bands that I grew up with idolizing, it was really cool. It's just really expensive. It's really risky, and yeah, they're a handful to deal with.
Okay.
And I had a few bad experiences with regard to bands canceling after we sold hundreds of tickets, giving the place a black eye. So, long story short, as we invested in the stage and the production, the lights, and many other things to make these national level bands look good, I kind of, not against national bands, I'll still do it, knowing what I know now, if the money and the timing is right. I think we just had Trickster here last year as the most recent national level act. We've had Kip Winger's solo act. We've had multiple things like that. But yeah, I decided that I was going to give all of the local successful level bands, and there's quite a few. There's so much talent here in Chicagoland, I learned. We're just going to try to give them a national level production every night. So that's where a show is different at Sundance Saloon. You can go see Band X at 10 places in the Chicagoland area, but you want to come see them here because you not only get Band X, but you get Band X and the whole production, and it's a true concert experience.
Yes. Yeah, and if you haven't been here, you need to come here just to see the stage. The production is awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We go for that. I mean, and it's different than in a theater, and nothing against theaters, but here you can buy a table and have a reserved seating area, but you also have a place you can go kind of boogie with your significant other. You can mill around the room. You can talk to people. There's, an area where the music isn't so loud, so you can sit and chat. We have a 10,000 square foot beer garden. You can float outside, see what's going on. Obviously not in the wintertime, but yeah, there's a little more movement. We pay close attention to customer service, so you're not spending half your night waiting for a cocktail at the bar. Little nuances like that that are different than theater. There's more than beer and wine here. Just pay attention to differentiate ourselves, I guess, is the key.
Well, you've thought about the things, and it's cool because from working in the industry where you said you were a bouncer, you're a bartender, you're a server, like all of these things you've done probably helped a lot in knowing that it's about customer experience, right? From obviously watching a show to being able to get a drink, because there's nothing more a pain in the ass than waiting in line for a drink.
Begging someplace to spend your money.
Exactly. I hate one more thing that I hate than anything is missed opportunity, right? I have one more bartender sell twice as many drinks, right?
Right.
I mean, I'm
in theory,
right, on the busy nights. So how do you pick these? I like that you do local as well.
Yeah.
So are you the guy that seeks out and finds the bands?
Yes, I book every act that comes through here personally.
Nice.
It's my primary function. My wife, ironically, she's my ex-wife, but we're together. She is my wife. I love her very much. She handles a lot of the day-to-day. She deals with the staff. She is a working owner.
Yep.
Shout
out to Angie.
Angie, yep. She's hands-on and does, she's really helped put a cherry on top of this operation. Without her, I'm not sure where we would be, but it's definitely improved since Angie has been a full-time part of it.
Yeah, she's
without
wonderful.
a doubt.
And like you said, it's funny that it's hard for me to say Bobby without Bobby and Angie.
Yes,
right?
that has become a term. The bands, they thank us both,
right?
And that's because they know me from booking them over the years, and I built some relationships. But like I said, she's a hands-on working owner. She's behind the bar most nights. She may take a night off here or there to celebrate her birthday or just to have a night off and breathe. But yeah, she's a working owner. She's back there with the girls in the trenches, and she gets to know them, because one of the things we do when the bands play here is we give them a little hospitality tab, so they have to go see one of the bartenders to get a beverage, and they get to know Angie real quick. And like I said, she's super friendly and got a great personality. So
yeah, she's
really easy to talk to.
Yeah, she brings an aspect to the bar here that is very cool, because I think people really feel at home. And you guys, like, the one thing I like about going to a place where people remember you, they remember what you drink, the hospitality that you give to your
There's
customers.
nobody in the business I've ever seen that can remember people better than Angie. Angie will not only remember your face, 2 years later, you can walk in and she'll say, "Hey, Tim, Crown and Coke and a Coors Light." And Tim will look at her and go,
right.
"Holy crap." She can't remember yesterday, but by God, she remembers that better than anyone I've ever seen in my life.
That's awesome.
She's amazing. Yes. She's absolute blessing to be together with her doing this together. It really is.
It's really cool to watch you guys work together too.
Yeah. No. Thank you.
Yeah. So you're doing the band stuff, you're trying to figure these things out. So how does, let's say there's somebody from a local act that's around doing stuff. How does somebody get on Bobby Carlson's radar to play at Sundance?
That's an interesting question. I don't know.
Or where do you find it?
I spend a lot of time watching social media, different avenues in social media. I click on a lot of links. I watch a lot of video. Ironically enough, when Angie and I aren't working, we're usually somewhere else watching music.
Right. I see that all the time.
Because that's us. I mean, it's different when you are operating an establishment and the music's playing. It's a different perspective as when you go to another establishment and can watch the music, and you're not worried about the business aspect. You're just relaxing and actually enjoying the performance. Not that I don't enjoy the performances while I'm here, but it's in a different way.
Yes.
I don't care if somebody's doing something they shouldn't be doing. I don't worry about that,
Right.
But yeah, I'm constantly on the move. If you've been here when I'm working, people are like, "Where'd you come from?" And I'm like, "I'm a 300-pound ninja." I'm like, I move about the room all night long. I talk to, customers and I interact with the bands. And I mean, that's why I say it's odd when people don't see me, because they'll say, "Well, where's Bobby? Why is he not here? Is he okay?" Blah, blah, blah. I went down for a couple of weeks with a emergency hernia surgery, and everybody panicked, like, "Where's Bobby?" And I'm like, and Angie was here running the show and taking care of me. It was crazy.
Right.
But Yeah, we're just interactive. I don't know any other way to be. It's natural. It's not rehearsed. It's just us. Like
Right.
we show up, we open the doors, and then we treat people like we would want to be treated. And it's
Absolutely.
totally natural and genuine. So
Yeah. And I think that's one thing too that with the bands that you bring in, I have friends that have come to, or they said they're going to Sundance, that people that would never have be exposed here. But I think what last time my friends ditched me and they came here because you had a Grateful Dead cover band or something.
that was last Saturday.
Was it?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
ditched and they're like,
Yeah.
well, we have to go to Sundance. You're going to Sundance. I'm like, for what?
Yeah.
But then after they came back, the experience that they have here is it's cool because everybody can enjoy it, right? You're
I
doing
hope
all
so.
kinds of different genres.
I hope so. Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah. That band was really good too. But
Yeah.
yeah, again, not everybody likes the Grateful Dead. Those who do really love it. I like some of it,
Sure.
but whatever.
Right.
You know, it's a little something for everybody. You know?
It is something for everybody.
Yeah.
So tell us too, because I don't like to record anything like with dates on it because we're recording this in April of 2025. So somebody might listen to this 2 years from now. But like coming up this summer of 2025, anything big planned? I know you have a what do you call it? The Sundance Fest that opens the outside. Is that right?
Right. So that event started in 2020.
Okay.
Before we had the outdoor patio, I brought a fest level stage because nobody was doing the fests. Everybody was locked down for whatever reason. I was one of the guys that said, if
Right.
I shut down for too much longer, we're not going to exist. So
Right.
we put a fest level stage out behind the building, and I don't know, packed 400 or 500 people in back there,
That's awesome.
and called it Sundance Fest. And that was Memorial Day weekend. And we ran it for 2 weekends straight because at the time that was all we were allowed to do per village ordinances. That's all changed. Those who know our story know that we fought for live music every weekend and got it. And all that stuff is just fine right now. You know,
Yeah.
Fortunately, we had to fight for our rights, but once again, we're doing exactly what we say we should be doing, and that seems to be
Right.
all good.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we're going on what's 2020, 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be sixth year.
6 year.
Sixth year for Sundance Fest. And it's just we turned it into the patio opening weekend. Seventh Heaven has kicked it off every year for us.
Nice.
Richie Hofer has been somewhat of a guiding light for me since we were a new club, and become a friend and whose opinion I trust. And of course, he and his band play here frequently and help support a club that is attempting to do things the right way. So he kicks off Sundance Fest. I think that weekend we also have the Pino Farina band. We have a fantastic Chicago band that weekend.
yeah.
with the 13, 14 piece band and the brass section. They're just freaking amazing if you love the music of Chicago. And without looking, that's all that comes to mind. But there's some awesome music. I think there's the Heart to Heartbreaker. The Heart tribute band is playing that weekend as well. It's just phenomenal. So
Wow.
it's just
How
a big
fun.
spectacle outdoors. Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about that because okay, what year the patio went in? What year then? What?
Well, it started in 2020. Got
Right.
stymied a little bit by the village. But it was complete and open. We opened it 2021.
Okay, because that was a really cool. I remember watching through social media and coming here like watching progress on
Brick by brick,
progress.
yeah.
Brick by brick, and it is kick ass out there. Like summertime. Tell us some other things that go on with that because I really enjoy your Sundays as well.
Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So once the patio is in full swing, we open at, and this may change for this season. We may open earlier with Bobby's 4 o'clock club. Might be something on the horizon, which means cheap drinks.
All right.
Happy hour on Fridays at 4. Typically, we open at 6 on a Friday evening. Bands play from 7 to 10. Outdoors, there is a hard stop at 10 o'clock that we don't have a problem with. It'd be nice to go a little bit later, but we really don't have a problem with that, stopping early. And what we did last year is we modified it and we called it something, I named it Full Tilt Friday. And what Full Tilt Friday is is for $5, you can come to Sundance Saloon and you can country line dance indoors, or you can pop outside for half an hour and watch a live band. We've got full bar service indoors and outdoors. It's family friendly, all ages. We do not charge 18 and under, or 18 and or under 18. We charge 18 and over $5 to come in, and that's really just a filter. It's there to, obviously it's a business, so we still want folks who are on the premises to buy a few beers or buy a burger or a mott stick or something, something to help us get a chance to make a profit and keep things going.
Yeah.
And we've learned over the years that if folks won't pay the $5 to get in, they're probably the type of folks that aren't here to spend a whole lot of money anyway.
True.
I realize there's a one-off, and we always get that guy that informs us he would have spent hundreds if we didn't have to pay $5 to get in. I tend to say I don't buy it because if we're going to spend hundreds, $5 doesn't stop you. So anyway, it's $5. It's all ages, family friendly. We tell the bands it's family friendly. We, rock and roll is rock and roll, and sometimes there's some terse language in there, but we tell them to stay away from that.
Yeah.
Because at any given time there could be children, and there are quite a few. We've had the baseball team stop after their games. That's the coolest thing. Or on a Sunday afternoon, I've got a big band with a horn section playing, and the parents and the families come out, and I look outside the gates and I see kids playing flag football in my driveway, and mom and dad are right there on the other side of the fence where they can see each other, and they're enjoying a beverage and watching a band playing music from a time that they liked. And it's just it's a vibe that we went after and we've achieved. And it's a different vibe if you've ever been in somebody's beer garden. Or I don't even like to call it beer garden. We just call it the patio.
Right.
So it's just something we went after, and I think we've got there.
It is really cool. I brought my kids there a couple of times last summer, and they just wanted to come and they wanted to have a burger and stuff and hang out.
Right.
Had some appetizers. I sat back and had a cold beer and listened to a good band play.
Right.
And where are you
Just
getting
chill.
that here? Right.
Yeah, I don't know of any place, but
You've done the things right to be very inviting and for people to come, right? Whether it's family friendly, whether it's country Wednesdays, which, hey, if you country line dance or even enjoy country music, Wednesdays here and Fridays here are awesome. I can't believe that there's still that. And the line dancers themselves is its own form of entertainment just to sit back and watch.
100%. Mostly good.
For the most, because I'm not dancing,
Yeah.
right? And it works out really well.
Coming up on 10 years I've been here, and the only line dance I can do
Yep.
is the electric slide.
All right.
And I didn't know that was a line dance.
But you knew that before you came here.
Yes.
Yes. Probably.
They'll say, "Why don't you do that?" And I'm like, "I don't know, but I just haven't."
What is your Seventh Heaven? Is that your biggest draw? Who's your biggest local band that you get?
Seventh Heaven draws very, very well. When it comes down to it, I'd have to say the number one draw for this location is Bella Cane.
Yeah.
Bella Cane consistently. Of course, Seventh Heaven does too. I mean, it's neck and neck right there. But over the years,
Both great bands.
Exactly. I mean, and once you have 400 plus people in the place, it's really we're talking the difference being 50 people. And that is a difference. But yeah, the number one draw here would be Bella Cane. Number 1A, Seventh Heaven. Number 1B, probably Modern Day Romeos.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean that. What's great about those guys is they while they are entertaining people, they party with you.
Yes.
And they create the ultimate party. They are the quintessential party band. There is nothing like them.
Yes.
And they're just another one of those bands that took a young guy who knew shit about live music, and they did my first New Year's Eve here.
Did they really?
And they proceeded to put 585 people in this place.
Wow.
We didn't have the stage we have today, and just overwhelmed us. We had maximum bartenders, 9 bartenders rocking this place, and there was a line from the bar to the back wall all night. We couldn't keep up. I mean, yeah, we learned a lot that night. But
wow.
yeah, Yeah,
Those guys
bands
are
like
great.
I just mentioned have been um, so helpful,
Yeah.
to me. For I don't know if it's they just wanted another good place to play.
Yeah.
I don't know if they just felt like I was a good dude and they wanted to help me out. Maybe it's a little of both. But
Yeah.
to this day, we've achieved a level of success. And to this day, when I talk to them and interact with all of them, I let them know how grateful I am
Yeah.
for the early days and what they did, and that they played here, and that they supported a new place, and that they, took a fat kid from Lake Zurich and gave him some pointers and
Right.
said, "Hey, this is what you want to do, or you don't want to do it this way." And yeah, I remind them constantly that I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
And there's some other bands as well. So
Yeah. I was just with Jim over at Volo.
yeah,
So
he is
dude, he is a
the
great
most
dude.
unique human being I have ever met in my life,
I,
in the most positive way.
absolutely.
He's awesome.
Absolutely. And I can't wait to get back because we got to talk Volo for a long time, which is he's been on the show for that, but I want to get him and his brother talking modern day Romeos. I think that their story and the enthusiasm that those guys just carry with them everywhere. And they play in here too, in the front room where I come in. Don't they do like a acoustic show?
So we have 3 stages here.
Okay.
Jim and Just Sunday afternoons in the winter
Oh.
or spring, where the patio is not quite open yet, we do acoustic acts. It could be solos, duos, even. We've had 8 pieces on that little acoustic stage to your right
Really?
there. Yeah. But they go acoustic. And it's a whole different vibe, right?
Yeah.
And there's no cover charge in the wintertime for that. It's just something that I do to kind of give back, like, hey, come on out.
Super fun.
Usually starts around the time the Bears are playing. So they'll come out, start by watching the game, or we'll have the game on, and then they'll play. So Jim and Justin have played that stage. Modern Day Romeos have played the main stage. They've played the outdoor stage. So there's 3 stages here.
Right.
And it's kind of cool. People
It's
like it.
very
The only
cool.
thing I haven't yet to accomplish is all 3 stages at the same time. I've had 2 stages going at the same time, which is in and of itself pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've yet to do all 3.
Well, what are we waiting for?
I don't know. I got to figure that out. I got to figure that out.
Okay, so in the front, what do we call this where we're sitting right now?
This was named by our customers. They call it the living room.
The living room.
Because when we started doing these indoor shows on Sunday afternoon, in the colder weather, mid to late October,
Yeah.
early November through May, in the first few months, people were in here, and guys like Jim and Justin were playing, and Keith Semple does a solo act for
That's
me,
great.
and it's fantastic. They looked at us and go, "This is like watching live music in your living room."
I see that.
This is 4 years ago, and they're like, "It's so comfy in here. It's so welcoming." But then there's music and there's great food, and drinks are, on that afternoon we lower the price of drinks even further. So yeah, we call it the living room
That's
at Sundance. Yeah.
That's awesome.
If you look over the kitchen door, there's a sign that was given to us by our customers. It says Sundance Saloon, where friends become family. That was huge. That
What
was
an honor
huge
to get
for
that,
us. Yeah.
right?
They gave it to us as a gift. So we mounted it, and it's a vibe that people feel comfortable here.
It's amazing because not every place has that, right? Some people you feel like you just go there. People come here
Transactional,
together.
right,
Right.
right,
And
right.
this is not transactional here.
Well, I mean,
For some
it
people,
can
I
be
guess.
on a busy night.
Sure.
Sure.
But yeah, when you come in here, people are not. It's a very unique atmosphere. Let's talk about 2, and then we're gonna. So what nights you do Singo here too, right?
Oh yeah, music bingo. That's
Yeah.
something that we've been doing that for a couple of years
And
now.
you run it.
I do run it. I enjoy running it. I've had a guest MC one time.
Okay.
And he did a good job too. Actually 2 times.
Actually hurts my feelings that I wasn't called for that.
Well, maybe.
Ooh,
Never
on
know.
the horizon.
You never know.
Right. So Singo.
So Singo is it's music bingo. It's amazing. We started a couple years ago, and now every freaking bar in our vicinity is doing music bingo, some variation thereof. But
Correct.
what Singo is bingo without the numbers. We play little clips of music for you. You identify that song title and correlate it to what looks like a bingo card, but it's a Singo card. And then you line them up in a row. There's different, one row, 2 line, blackout, postage stamp, whatever, different games like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we issue prizes along the lines of free food, free tickets to shows at Sundance. There is cash involved.
Hey, the first time I came here for Singo, I won, and I won $50.
You won the
I won the
$50 cash.
blackout. I
You won the
did.
blackout.
That's right.
We've since added a progressive jackpot
Oh.
where you get 2 shots a night. If you're in the room by the time the first game starts, you get 2 shots a night at the progressive, which is up to, I think, $875 this Thursday.
All right.
And the way you win that is you have to get a single 5 in a row in the first 10 songs.
All right.
Which is difficult.
Yeah. Yeah.
But can and has been done. So
how fun is that?
And when they don't hit, it rolls, and it's going to roll until someone hits it.
Right.
And they're going to get handed cash. Tax-free cash.
I love it because it's just another vibe that you guys bring in, right? I mean, just another night.
It's something cool. And then all of a sudden, I see everybody and their mother doing Singo around me.
Right.
And then I'll have customers that play Singo here. They'll venture out and try it, and they'll come back and go, man, they're doing it wrong. They're cheating. They're telling you the song. They're doing this. They're posting the song on the wall. I'm like, well, that's dumb. That takes away from the nuance of understanding the music.
Right.
So,
and I like it too because and anybody listen, I wouldn't be shy away from it because it's not that elaborate where you have to know every single thing.
No.
But it's a cool thing that you can come with 4, 6 people,
Right.
hang out, and it's relaxed.
And what happens is they get a couple beers in them and they start singing. Some nostalgia kicks in.
Right.
And they hear a clip of their favorite song. And the next thing you know, the whole table, the whole freaking room is chanting this song. And I've got a little extend button on my control board where I can extend that clip 30 seconds so they can, while they're having it's a vibe, right?
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
You know, it's pretty cool. So
awesome. Okay, so usually about 20 some minutes into every episode, I do something we call the Lake County Hot Seat. And so I get to ask some rapid fire questions to you. And with me and Bobby sitting here, we got to watch our mouth to see. No, but swearing is allowed. You portray yourself however you'd like. Okay. Pretty easy ones. First thing come out, you can't pass. You have to answer, and we'll see what happens. They're pretty easy though. Like some nostalgic too.
Okay.
I want to know what your first car was.
It was a Buick Century.
What year? Do you have any idea?
77.
What color?
White. With a maroon vinyl roof, half white. It was all white, and there's a maroon, vinyl maroon roof, and white vinyl interior. Bench seat.
PIMP.
350.
Okay.
That's all. Free.
That's awesome.
That's what
the reason I love that question is because everybody remembers their first car, and you know everything about it. No,
that's great.
It's
awesome. A great car. Mostly because it was free.
Right. First concert you ever attended?
First concert was fall of '87. Def Leppard and Tesla.
Nice. Where at?
Rosemont Horizon.
Really?
It will always be the Rosemont Horizon to me.
Of course. Yeah, I thought you were going to say Poplar Creek for some reason.
I love Poplar Creek, but it was not my first concert.
Nice.
My dream, incidentally, is to recreate Poplar Creek somewhere. That was a classy, good sounding outdoor venue.
Yep.
I would love to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to do that.
After we do all 3 stages, though. We got to do 3 stages in here, and then we'll move on.
I can make that happen tomorrow.
Okay.
That's no big deal.
Fine.
I just think it'd be cool to operate a place, I don't know, 4 or 5 months a year.
How awesome.
In my retirement. Like, you ever see those plastic guitars?
Yes.
At those places full of beer? I just want to get one of those and drive around drinking a plastic guitar full of beer and watch the operation.
Right.
And then I can scoot in backstage and say hi to Sammy Hagar because I booked him to play it.
I like your style.
I would love that someday. I don't know if it's realistic, but that would be a wonderful thing to take place.
Did you? Oh, well, I know some of these. Did you play a sport in high school?
I did. I played. Well, it depends on what year, but freshman year I played basketball, baseball, and football.
Right.
And as the years went by, it became obvious I was built for a particular sport. So the only sport I played all 4 years was football.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And you guys did pretty well too, didn't? Did you guys do pretty well in your senior?
Yeah. We did.
So
we went to the playoffs.
You had some big boys there. Tell me about the second time you got arrested.
The second time. I don't know. I don't remember.
Well,
I don't remember which was the second time.
I don't think anybody's supposed to answer that,
right?
But I like to see when they do.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun like that.
Right.
Tell me something that you, on a serious note, something you wish you learned sooner in life.
It's interesting. Probably when to keep your mouth shut.
Okay.
Probably would be best. I still suck at it.
I was going to say, did you learn that yet?
Yeah. I still suck at it, but I'm doing better. I mean, that would be a great question for Angie.
Right.
She might admit I'm doing better, but yeah, I still suck at it. I
Okay.
still completely say the wrong thing at the wrong time.
That's all right.
You know, my brain just doesn't have a filter, and either that or it's clogged. I don't know.
right.
I don't
Well,
know.
that's what makes us, right?
That's right.
If you had to have a superpower, what would it be?
I want to be invisible
Why?
so I can be in places and people don't know it and hear what they're saying and see what they're doing. And that's not a perverted thing.
Okay.
That is just it's a great way to know if people are who they say they are.
True. See how genuine they are.
Yeah.
Tell me a place that you'd like to travel that you have not been.
Oh, good Lord.
Because you guys are hung up here all the time. I'm sure you guys haven't had a ton of time to go traveling around.
Yeah, I mean, we could carve out the time. We're just getting to that point where that'll start happening. Gosh, I don't know. Probably Hawaii or somewhere like that. My folks just went there and came back raving about it. Some friends of ours, employees that work for me, family just went there for 7 or 10 days and came back saying it was a great time. So
Yeah.
you know, I'd like to see that. There's a lot of tropical places I'd like to see.
Right.
Not too interested in the history stuff.
No, I want to go lay on a beach somewhere and have somebody bring me a drink.
Yeah,
Hang
that
out
would
where
that
it's
would
nice
be
and warm.
that would be cool.
Have you ever eaten a roller dog from a gas station?
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah, a couple hundred,
Um,
1,000 maybe.
some people just don't get it, Bobby.
Oh Lord,
I know.
the
So
ones at Thornton's, by the way, are the best.
they are.
Yeah,
We were
and
just
it-
at Thornton's the other day. They have a variety too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they do.
Just and the
Clearly, we know.
right. Yes. Us swimsuit models over here.
Yeah.
Okay, so these two always go hand in hand. What's the chances that Bigfoot exists?
50-50.
50-50. And you're what was the first job you ever had?
First job I ever had was a pizza maker at JJ. Other than a paper route,
Oh, you had a paper
I was
route
a
too?
I was a paper route since I was whatever age that was, and probably 10 years old.
Really?
Yeah, I did the Advertiser. I don't know if you remember that
Oh
thing.
my God, the advertising.
And then I
yeah.
had the Daily Herald where you had to go around and collect. But my first job I had to go to
Yeah.
was JJ Twigs in Lake Zurich. I was a pizza maker.
Nice.
You know, I think it was like $3 an hour or something.
Right.
Yeah.
I always like to see, especially people that run business, because obviously a work ethic has to start somewhere, and this
Yeah.
isn't to own a business like this is not like you can't take it lightly. You're all in, right? You have to
Oh,
work
yeah.
all the time,
Yeah, yeah.
and hopefully, as we get a little older, hopefully that doesn't stay the same.
Right.
Okay, thank you for participating in that. Tell me about the other thing I know that you take pride in here is somebody's here, they want something to eat. Tell me about the kitchen. Tell me about food.
Oh, you know, it's that's the next area of my focus. Currently, it's a very basic, very simple menu. A lot of just typical bar food, your mozzarella sticks. We make something called our huge ultimate nachos, and they probably weigh 2 to 3 pounds. They probably can feed 3 to 4 people. So people find out real quick why they're $13.50 or $14 or something. And you can add chicken or steak, or what we've got a little bit of notoriety for is our smoked meats.
Yes.
Our pork shoulder and brisket, which we go through pounds and pounds and pounds of that every week. It's smoked here on the premises by myself.
All right.
It's a multi-hour process. It's a little bit of a hassle in the winter. It's a little chilly out there, but it is a labor of love, and folks have really come to love the brisket, especially because you can get that on your nachos, or you can get that on a sandwich separate, or probably our best-selling sandwich is known as the Kickin' Bourbon Brisket Burger, where we put the brisket smoked here and hand pulled here on a Black Angus burger together with a special sauce and some French dried onions, and it's one of the most amazing things ever. I think it was Angie's idea. I think Angie named it. You know, between that sandwich and Angie's pickle shots,
Oh
There's
yeah.
some things that we haven't talked pickle shots.
No, we're going to.
Yeah. Yeah. Pickle shots may have just taken over the #1 beverage at this
Are
establishment.
you kidding me?
Thousands.
What?
Yeah.
And you have it on tap?
More than Tito's.
You have it on tap,
We
right?
had it on tap at one time. That became a little bit of a pain trying to tap it into an ounce glass, but they are pre-batched, and when some of the larger drawing bands come through, I mean, we're batching. I think the record here in one night is 382 pickle shots in one night. And when we're talking 4 hours,
Holy smokes.
that's a ridiculous amount of pickle shots. Now they're $3,
right.
because, it's pickle juice and vodka and some tahini, and
Yes.
the blend is proprietary. Everybody asks for it. We'll never tell, but that's essentially what's in it. And, they buy them by the dozen, Dave. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I buy them by the dozen.
They're
Yes.
fantastic. It's like potato chips. You can't have just one.
No.
And if you've never tried it, you definitely get a second.
First thing I bring to people when we get in here is like, have you ever had a pickle shot? We need to have a pickle shot.
Yeah.
It was Angie told me that I think the first time that she said we can hydrate while we dehydrate.
That's it.
It's basically just to stay okay. So pickle shot. Okay, what would #2 be then?
Tito's. Tito's anything is #2 here.
Really?
Yeah.
Um.
After that, I don't know.
Wow.
But we specifically looked up those numbers in our system.
How fun is that though?
It's pretty cool. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Just to see what's going
And
on.
then the latest and greatest thing is on those Sunday Fun Day indoors.
Yeah.
Angie puts cups of pickles. We now throw away pickles because of the amount of
Pickle juice.
pickle juice we go through. We literally buy 5-gallon pails of the pickle spears just for the juice. And it's okay. I mean, the numbers work out. But so we'll put out cups of free pickle spears on Sunday afternoon. People sit here and munch on pickles.
That's a great idea.
Kind of like back in the day with peanuts.
Right?
But these are pickle spears, and people who love pickles love it. They sit there and they'll eat like the equivalent of 3 pickles.
That's awesome.
We are working on a pickle salsa, where we dice up the pickles into a salsa. We've experimented with it a couple times. It's really good, but we got to figure out a way to stabilize it so it's good for more than a day or two because it's
yeah.
fresh.
Right.
Or we're just going to start making it fresh.
Well,
But we got all the pickles.
right. You have them
Yeah.
where you need them.
It's amazing. Yeah. So
It's funny because we would have got done recording and we would have said, "Oh my God, we didn't talk about pickle shots."
Yeah.
What else are we forgetting about? That kind of signature Sundance. It's kind of fun because it's a totally different atmosphere. I think what you're talking about with the sign hanging up there about family is it just has a really cool vibe.
well, as a friend and patron, because I know you pop in here and I
Yeah.
don't even realize you're here. You clearly get that vibe.
Absolutely.
It's something that her and I work closely, and you know what? It translates. I'm glad it translates to customers. I guess it really starts with our employees. We are so lucky as the people that work with us. And notice I always say the word with us, not for us,
Absolutely.
because that's how we feel. We have another husband and wife that work here. One bartends, one runs the light show on the indoor thing,
Mhm.
does the lights. We call him, his nickname's MacGyver, because he's one of those guys that can look at anything and whether he's
Figure it
ever and figure it out. That's an amazing talent. One of my other bartenders who's no longer with us because she had a injury to her arm where she can't even lift a bottle of liquor anymore. Thankfully, she's okay. But a couple summers ago, she got married and she asked me to MC the ceremony. That was ridiculously amazing and scary at the same time because I'm like,
Sure.
please don't fuck up. Please don't fuck up. So, but I did it and it was a lot of fun. So we kind of build a little internal family here.
Right.
And I guess that carries over to people because folks really enjoy our
do.
staff.
They do.
You know,
And the other thing that I tip my hat to you too, usually in the bar industry, you see a lot of turnover. But you know what? You have employees, people that you work with here behind
Right.
the bar
right?
that were here before you even were here,
Correct.
but are still part of the Sundance family.
They come in. There were some intervals where they weren't here, but they've come back.
Yeah.
And got to be part of the family.
It's just cool to see because usually there's a ton of turnover. It's really nice and refreshing to see the same DJ up there or the same,
Yeah.
waitresses, bartenders, like everybody. It says a lot about what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, we just treat people like people. That
Right.
is like the golden rule in life, right?
Amen.
I wish people would just learn that, and it applies in personal life and business. Just treat someone like you'd want to be treated, even when you have to deliver not so good news.
Correct.
Just be cool about it. Just be respectful. I've always felt everybody deserves respect until they disrespect me. At that point, after you disrespect me, I have a tolerance for a level of it, but
Right.
there's a level where, okay, you're in my house. I don't have to put up with your disrespect. Time for you to go,
Exactly.
so
No, but and that's something I wanted to
doesn't,
tell you too, that
not an issue here very
it
often.
doesn't happen, right? I mean, sure, it happens
Not,
everywhere, right?
yeah,
But
not like a lot of places.
no,
We've had the local police literally say, we don't know how you guys do it. The thousands of people you run through there,
right.
you almost never call us. And I'm like, I don't know. I want to think it's because 2/3 of the room knows me or Angie at any given night.
Sure. They're being respectful as
I
well.
want to believe it's because they respect us the same way we show them respect.
Mhm.
That's the only thing I can think of,
Yeah.
but we're very blessed and lucky that way. So, and I don't want to jinx it.
Amen. Anything coming up? Anything new? Anything on the horizon for the future of Sundance?
Right now, business as usual. We're going to be getting the patio ready here in short order. The tent will go up. The bands for the summer are booked. Um, and always looking to the next thing, or looking at, okay, what are we going to improve this year? Every year we try to pick one thing or two things and try to make it a little better, where it's just resurface the floors,
Right.
new carpet, new plumbing. We
Oh,
just
fun.
did new plumbing, over 20 grand worth of new plumbing, and remodeled the bathroom. And it's just always something. And Angie and I are the type that believe in, if you're not moving forward, you're standing still. And sometimes standing still is good, but not in business.
Amen.
Not in business.
Amen.
So,
All right. Well, hey, is there anything else you want to mention before we sign off?
um,
I appreciate you, and I appreciate what you're doing for the community, and I love it that you have such an inviting place for people to come and gather. It's really cool.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks
Yeah.
for having me. I don't, like I said, it's just, at the end of the day, it's about treating people the way you want to be treated, and that would just be the message I would leave to everybody, because that applies here, and it should apply everywhere. And I think the world will be a pretty decent
Hell of a
place.
lot better place.
100%, 100%. And I am far from perfect, but I really try hard to live by that. So
Cool. Well, thank you, Bobby. I appreciate it, man.
you got it, brother.
Lake County, hey, thank you guys so much for listening. Wherever you're at, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Spotify, whether you're on Apple, wherever you're at, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button, so that way every week you will get an alert of a new guest on from Lake County. And we're trying to make sure that we have a lot of diversity, and making sure we have a lot of different really cool guests, and kind of behind the scenes look at things. So, and as we always end too, kind of what Bobby was saying as well, that we never know what our friends or families or even strangers are going through. So get out there, do one simple random act of kindness today, whether it's holding the door for somebody, being nice to a cashier where you work, or just giving somebody a smile or holding the door for them. It can change things. So get out there, do two random acts of kindness. So Lake County, thank you guys for listening. Bobby, appreciate you, buddy. And we'll see you for pickle shots this weekend.